we would be diving into the first agenda for the day, and that is the chairman's opening speech. It's my pleasure to welcome Mr. Shola Muide for his welcome address. Thank you. Mr. Shola, the floor is all yours, sir.
Thank you, Tofumi. I appreciate all of you, and I am going to share my screen, if you allow me to share my screen.
Please go ahead, sir.
Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, or good afternoon if you are in the US. And if you are around the world, you are in Nigeria or UK, I want to welcome you officially to the second orientation for our IT program. Once again, my name is Shola Muide. I'm the CEO of Communitywide Charities, Inc. in Quincy, Massachusetts, USA. I'm also the CEO of Communitywide Grassroots Organization in Lagos, Nigeria. So Communitywide Grassroots is the organization we use to implement all our projects in Africa. I really want to appreciate our board of directors, our board members, starting from Mr. Agbola Fayeshe, which Mr. Oluwole Kayode, Water, Mrs. Comfort Muyide, Mr. Taiwo Akinola, Mr. Johnson Farotimi, and Mr. Akpan Azoko. I really appreciate all your hard work in making Communitywide functioning very well. At this point, I want to talk about Communitywide Charity, who we are. Communitywide Charity is a 501c nonprofit organization founded on June 15, 2006 in Boston, Massachusetts, USA, with programs and project activity in the US, Nigeria, and now in 7 countries. We operate within the community locally, nationwide, and internationally. Our mission is to bring relief to the needy and the poor in our world community, and to teach skills that improve people's quality of life. You know, in our world of today, the difference between the rich and poor may just be the opportunity. And at Communitywide Charities, we are here to give the opportunity. To do this, we provide the needed support, the developmental aid, training, and other assistance to less privileged and needy people in our work community to ameliorate suffering, improve living standard, and to improve quality of life. To summarize, Communitywide have developed 4 different programs. One, we have the Help a Neighbor program. The Help a Neighbor program is designed to help you to assist any less privileged people or somebody that need help education-wise, medical-wise, and they cannot afford to do it. For those of us in the Western world, in the USA, if you have a kid in your neighborhood, and these kids is not your dependent, if you spend money on them, you will not be able to claim them in your taxes. But with the development of the Help a Neighbor program, you can donate the money to charity and restrict it to help that child on the street. And that donation to Communitywide Charity will be deductible, and you will be able to help uplift and light up that child's life. or if somebody has a serious health issue, you can donate the money to pay for the medical expense. That is what the Help Enable program is all about. And our number 2 program is the IT skill focused training. We developed this skill focused training to be able to help young ones from age 11 all the way to 30 to be able to go into the IT program. Today is for the IT orientation, so we're going to talk more about that as we move on. The 3rd program is the disaster and food relief. Anywhere disaster strike, Communitywide want to contribute to the relief of the people over there. During the 2020, we have COVID-19 pandemic and all over the world, and we're still suffering the consequences up to today. So in spite of the restriction of movement, Communitywide was able to put together a disaster and food relief for over 3,000 people in Nigeria, in Osun or your Ondo State. We were able to give them COVID-19 education. We made some jingles, which I have sent to some of you, my friend. And we also distributed rice and gari, about 3 kg of them, to the people who need food. So we will continue to pursue that as disaster and a pandemic continue to happen from time to time. And lastly, we have our medical care and outreach program. This is a free medical care that we provide to people in different areas. So if, say, for example, you want to help your people in your town, in your city, anywhere, you can call our Communitywide and we can bring our medical team over there to provide free medical care to the poor people who need help. For example, in 2019, August, we did a 1 week free medical outreach at the General Hospital Ijebu-Jesha and General Hospital Ilaje-Ilesha in Osun State. We took care of over 7,000 people. We provide over 5 million naira in medicine. We did 235 surgery. Out of that, 81 out of the 235 surgery is cataract surgery. And we also did medical, what do I call it, physical therapy. We gave out 1,000 reading glasses. People who cannot read before. There was an old woman who said that for 15 years, I have not been able to read the Bible. With the reading glass we gave her, now she can read the Bible. So Communitywide hope to continue to pursue our medical outreach. So those are our four programs. Now, I've talked about our success story. In 2019, we did a free medical outreach. We took care of about 10,000 people in Osun and Ondo State. And like I said, we did over 235 major surgery. We also donated $5,000 to support the children with disability at the Christ Foundation in Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria. I have also talked about the relief we did during the COVID-19 in 2020 in Nigeria. So we will continue to pursue that. Now we're talking about IT focused training which is the reason why we are here today. Our IT focused training program started in 2019. The program has assisted, trained, mentored, and graduated various IT certification from CompTIA A+, M+, Network Plus, Security Plus. We have over 50 candidates that have benefited from the program, who are now cybersecurity experts, IT help desk technicians, and AI programming specialists. In 2021, we were able to register more than 160 participants, students from 7 countries, namely Nigeria, USA, UK, Canada, Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Colombia. Maybe I need help desk. My thing is not moving forward.
What is that, sir?
My slide is not moving forward. Okay, thank you. Okay, I can see it now. So about the skill focused training, community-wide IT skill focused training program include the following. Okay, let's see. We offer courses in IT fundamentals, A+, Network+, Security Analyst, Cloud Computing, and AI Programming. Participants are linked with IT professionals to serve as their mentor, to provide guide, to assist with test prep, and create network. Internship opportunities are sourced from program participants for skill building and to enhance job placement prospects. In this aspect, we have recorded success with all our candidates. Course participant or student are selected from need-based disadvantaged group or candidate sponsored through our Help Enable program. The advantage of the CompTIA A certification. Foundations of building a career in the information technology space. Job satisfaction and prestige, higher salary, a larger base of career choices. So here at Communitywide, we provide the skills that help our students to succeed. We also train them with all the skills to become a successful IT professional, which include aptitude, education, work, skill, talent, improve, study. We train them how to make presentation skill, evaluation skill, reporting, writing, and management skill. And we also teach them mentoring skill. So when you join this program as a student, you are given a scholarship. This scholarship is to help you to be successful in the IT career. What do we require from you? Number one, you have to set out time for study. Two, you have to prepare, research, and produce your weekly report. Three, you need to participate in group practice or discussion to ensure success. Going forward, Communitywide Charity plan to expand our online instructor method IT program platform to register and consistently train 500 plus participants or students at any given period from 2022. We plan to provide internship program for successful graduates in collaboration with public and private enterprise so that they will be able to get a job where they are in Africa or in any developing country without coming to the US. To be able to do that, we're going to collaborate with Global HR that will provide graduate job in the emerging international IT employment. We are also calling for collaboration with universities. A collaborative program between universities and Communitywide can provide computer science students training methodology to quickly pass IT certification and be ready for the job market. You and I know that you have a degree. If you don't have certification, especially in the IT world, you will not be able to get a job. People pay you good money because of your IT certification. So in view of that, Communitywide program can provide required training, the job search skill, the framework to get university graduates into IT international remote employment opportunity. We plan to collaborate with corporate and incorporate IT certification training into the university program, offering to get their students to the IT professional pathway more quickly. You have people that have a bachelor degree in computer science or in computer engineering, and they have no certification. So how would they be able to get a job? So To be able to achieve this, we are also calling for collaboration with businesses, enterprises. We call on companies and corporations to support community-wide program by sponsoring their staff through our IT-focused training program. We also want them to create a 3-month internship opportunity for students to provide them with hands-on experience. We also want them to add community-wide charity and community-wide grassroots organization to the list of charity that they will support with grant and donation. What about the government? So we also want to collaborate with the government. We call on national, state, and local government to support our program, including but not limited to the following. We can collaborate to establish women and youth empowerment program, which we put participants through our IT-focused training program that will prepare them for international remote employment opportunities. We also want them to create a 3-month internship opportunity so that our students will be able to have a hands-on experience. We also want governmental agencies to donate generously to Communitywide, because all of these students are given by the time they pass the A+, M+, Security Plus, and then going to AI, we'll be giving each of the students about $10,000 scholarship. So we need this money to be able to give as many students scholarship. So we're calling on governmental authority to also give grants to Communitywide so that we will be able to sponsor more students. We want all the foundations and philanthropist organizations to also help us. They can sponsor a high school of their choice so that our IT focused training program can be implemented there to prepare 12th grader to transition from school to high-paying job. We have a lot of students that have achieved that in our program. So we want them to provide scholarship to a number of students so that they can attend our program. So basically, this is the mission of Community-Wide Charity USA and Community-Wide Grassroots Nigeria. We came together to develop this program so that we will be able to train quickly young people so that they can become certified with American IT certification, that these kids will be able to make more money to take care of themselves without stepping out of Africa. That is our primary goal. So once again, I want to thank all of you for listening to this welcoming address. We appreciate you so much. And we want to thank all our board of directors once again. We want to thank all our donors and all our friends that have supported community-wide charities and community-wide grassroots. This is the beginning, and we are moving our program to the next level. So we ask that you continue to support us with your prayers, support us with your resources, support us with your money so that we can help more young people to become qualified IT professionals. Thank you, and God bless you, all of us.
Wow.
Thank you very much. The person I'm going to introduce to you, Dr. Jerry Aromo Vua Choma. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly. We have not met in person. We are just getting to know each other, but I've heard a lot about you. The reason Dr. Jerry is a business magnate. He has several businesses in Nigeria, in other parts of Africa, and I think secretly I was told he probably has some network here in the US also. But the reason we are inviting him is not because of what he achieved in the business world. Why we are calling him is because this is somebody who invests in people, especially young ones. He has helped to build many young lives. He has helped to direct many. He believed in teaching you to fish, not giving you the fish. So, and we think this is the kind of person that Communitywide can use to get things done. So forgive me if I'm not pronouncing your last name very well. You will educate me right now. I always learn. Dr. Jerry, we are on to you, please.
Thank you very much, the chairman and all the ESCOs and everyone present in this platform. Pardon me to introduce myself. Everybody in Nigeria find it difficult in calling my name. But my partners and business friends too, in Europe and America, they try to pronounce that name. But my name is Dr. Jerry Ariomovuahoma. I'm from Delta in Isoko in Delta State. But I'm born a Lagosian. And when I speak Yoruba, people think this name is not a Yoruba name now. So I'm pleased to be here. Even though I have a tight schedule, I have other related areas to be part of. But I'm glad that I'm here. And I want to thank all of you because this has been my goal from inception. And I like to move with people who have the same kind of spirit. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jerry. I honestly want to try to pronounce that. Thank you so much.
I think we can now go ahead and get his speech.
Okay, so Mr. Jerry would be giving us Dr. Jerry. I'm so sorry, pardon me for that, sir. So Dr. Jerry is going to be taking his first speech. Sir, please, you have the platform to.
Thank you. Thank you. The chairman, board of directors, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. It is my pleasure to give this short speech, especially I'm making this speech to the young people because I take education and training very, very important. I was born around the villages around Ekpe called Ladaba. My parents left Delta State here in Lagos to do farming work. And all I knew then was farming. And I tell you the truth, there are a lot of things that I have gained from my parents. My orientation started.
I'm surprised that the thing is limited to 100.
So I learned a great lot because one of the things I learned from my parents then was diversification. They don't depend on one particular area. And today I'm glad to tell you that I've also diversified my businesses that I have in Tanzania, Ghana, Kenya, South Africa, and the US. And we've been able to do that because of that orientation. I found that my parents don't depend on one particular thing. They farm cassava, they do charcoal, they do palm oil, they plant yam, And they also have a plantation of various kinds. And I also want to give kudos to my parents too, because I remember vividly one story, and this is life story. Normally, when my father is on top of the palm tree, bringing the palm tree fruit down, I and my siblings will just stay beside until all this thing comes down, then we begin to pick them up. But suddenly I saw my father coming down from the palm tree. Then I asked him, Daddy, what's going on? He said, he feels pressed. He wants to ease himself. I said, okay, that's good. So he went further into the bush to do that. Then I took the rope tight on my waist and I started climbing up. So thereafter, my father saw me and he screamed that I should come down. Never you do that again. So I was surprised. So I asked my daddy, Papa, who taught you this work? He said his father. I said, then why don't you want to teach me? He said, you must go to school. You must go to school. I don't want you to do this job. You must go to school. And that's what has brought me to this level I am today. Otherwise, I would have been in the bush there, climbing the palm trees and cutting down the fruits. I'm not saying that farming is not good, because in Tanzania, we established a banana plantation, and we are doing very well there, in Zanzibar precisely. And we are also exporting to Saudi Arabia. We export banana to Saudi Arabia. So that's tell you that those are part of the things I picked from my parents as farmers. What I have for the youths today is that getting themselves trained by this notable organization, they should not take it for granted. Because one of the things that they have to lay their foundation on is education, especially in this IT world we are. Things have to be done differently. If you want to break through, you must do things differently. This is not a time of education, have a lot of knowledge on your head, but no skills. No, the time has come for skills. So we are seeing our graduates today, some of them are taking new skills. Because going to the university does not mean that you have succeeded. That was the impression, that was the mindset that we Nigerians here have. That once I go to university, I come out, then I will be well paid. But things have changed for reality. That what is necessary for us to do is to have skills, what we can do with our hands. If you watch carefully during our time, in schools, I remember vividly, we used to do what's called handwork. And what are they trying to do? They are training us to use our hands to do things. So we do basket, we weave basket, we weave rooms, and we do tables and all sorts of things that we do with our hands. And in my own eyes, I begin to notice that that was fading away. And what came in? People can go to the market and buy baskets and buy tables and present as their handwork. And that's exactly how corruption starts coming in. Because how could you go to the market and buy a basket or buy a table and present it as your handwork? We never knew anything about that. But the reality is that we need to get skills, like I said earlier, to be able to be creative. You can notice that in America, most of the great men today are people that have created, they use their own initiative. Some are dropouts of school, but they realize that they need to bring something new into the world. If you try to lay your hands on things that people have done, you can't get anywhere. You have to do it differently. Do something. When you get the skill, the question that comes before you is, what can I do? What can I do to change the world? What can I do to change my community? What can I do to change society? Yes. If you think in that line, definitely you are going to break through. Because my parents, I always use myself as an example when I give motivation talks like this. I use myself as an example. My parents were able to send me to school in the secondary school level because they don't have the money. But I was grateful because that was a good foundation for me. I started driving taxi in Lagos for 5 years. I drove taxi for 5 years, but I wasn't taking that as my profession. But along the line, I have to lay my hands on something to do something because I know that the only way to go to the top is for you to be thinking differently. So your mindset, what you think, is what you get. You can't give what you don't have. So you must continue to think. My book, you can get it on Amazon. The title of my book is Poverty is by Choice. I'm not talking about material things, but I'm talking about the mind. The poverty of the mind. Because if you are thinking the things, how to cheat people, that is poverty. If you want to get billions all over the world and put them in Swiss bank, and your people are suffering, your immediate environment are suffering, to me, that is poverty. Take, for instance, I want to use an example. There was a time I was launching a product and I invited dignitaries in one of the 5-star hotels here in Lagos. And I sat down noticing when it got to the time of our buffet, I saw a lot of people did not care. The food that we brought was to cover for 100 people. But I tell you, within a short time, the food finished and people were packing it, taking much of the food that they cannot finish. But one thing that came to my mind is that these people that are doing this are not taking into consideration the others. People think more about themselves. So, and not that they cannot afford, because these are top level people. But when they are going to take the food, they pack and pack and pack. So the same thing they handle our financials. They want to get everything. Everything wants to belong to them. And that is why I want to record myself with this organization, because anything that has to do with others, how we can change people's lives, how we can affect them, it should be our goal in life. Because you came to the world with nothing and you are going back with nothing, unfortunately. But if you understand this principle, how it works, then you begin to think about others. So that me, everybody me, that will be reduced. And once that is reduced, the life will be easy for everyone. When you are eating, are you thinking about others who have not eaten today? These are the things we need to talk about. Yes, in all sincerity, do we think about others who have not eaten for 2 days now? And some throw food away. And some also, they see themselves very, there was one man who was telling me some time ago that when he passes through the bus stop with his Lexus, that's when he enjoys his car, because you see people admire him. But to me, that is stupidity. You see, why can't you help them so that, help society so that they can get transport or transportation to wherever they want to go? than you bluffing them with your lasers. So our thinking must change. Even the young ones, you must not follow the example of the elders, because the elders have failed the youths. But the way you want to think now, how you can change, you can do things differently to make life not miserable, but make life enjoyable for all. So thank you very much. I'm a very shy person. I don't make too much long speech, but if I've done that, please pardon me. But I just want to speak my heart, my mind. Speak my mind. Thank you so much, all the audience, the chairman, and all the board of directors. God bless you.
At this point, we would like to introduce the backbone to the chairman as she presents a speech titled "The Joy of Volunteering and Gifting." Ma, the floor is all yours.
Before you introduce her, I want to also talk about how elegantly looking she is today, and we appreciate our mommy. She's our mommy, while Mr. Muide is our daddy, and Baba is our Baba. So
Baba is our grandpa.
we welcome you, Mrs. Muide, and the floor is yours.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate everyone. I have to really commend our students, that take the time out of, their busy schedule as well to be here. Congratulations. And I want to thank our chairman, Mr. Shola Moyede, for making sure that community-wide charity continue to be successful up to today. And my gratitude, to all the board of directors. Their names have been mentioned. So in order to save ourselves time, you already, know them. And I want to thank all the organizers, behind these scenes that make today possible. Thank you very much. So it is my great pleasure, to welcome you all to community-wide orientation event. Is a very joyful occasion for all new students of the 2021 IT skill focused training. Please let us welcome them. All right, my name is Mrs. Comfort Moyede, a director on board of Communitywide Charity. We started this charity, Mr. Moyede and I, in order to give back to our community, and especially, to those ones that they are in need. And as you will see tonight, it's a very powerful day for everybody here, because it's a very important transition phase of your life as a student, in order for you to set your goals for your future. In order for you to be here today, you have been through interviews, you have been through tests, and you'll be pronounced worthy to be here today. So you should be so proud of yourself. We interviewed over thousands of students, and you are here today to be part of those that will take part in the second phase or second class of IT skill of community-wide charity. So from this moment on, I would really encourage you to try to form new bonds and establish new networks with your instructors, with your teachers, with your friends, and with your other people that are in IT world. Form a support group in order for it to be successful for you. I can assure you that those friends and network will assist you in achieving your goals. As we know that in anything, you need support. You need people to motivate you. You need something that will wake you up in the morning. So please, networking is part of your success, especially in IT world. Now, this program will be different from what you have probably done before. And at the same time, it will be so refreshing and look forward to a very positive experience. We will need from you to remain committed, remain focused, and don't yourself be left behind. Do everything you can to attend all classes, to submit your assignments to your instructors as required. Ask questions if you do have any. They are here for you to be successful. So, what is this scholarship is all about? Because is about that you're about to start is a scholarship grant for you to study. And by the time you have completed your professional track of this IT school, will cost between $10,000 to $15,000. Of course, you may say, wow, that's a lot. Yes, this is a huge financial and resources investment in you as a person, as a student, and especially as a participant in this program. So this program and that scholarship fund is made possible due to generous donations of money, time, and other resources. Usually when you're hearing of donation, you're hearing only about money. However, before the money comes in place, it takes a lot of time and energy and resources before they all come together. Actually, a lot of hard work. So these generous individuals and volunteers that you are seeing today, some of them are here with us today, have donated their time, their resources, and their money to sponsor this program for you. This is a scholarship offer. Scholarship is free. You are not required to pay back this money. What we are requiring of you, however, is to pay it forward so that you too can give other people an opportunity and so that the goodwill will continue. So why do you want to pay forward? Well, the scriptures taught us that there is more joy in giving than there is in receiving. If you have tried it before, even if you have little, and out of your little, you give a little to other people, you will really experience the joy of giving. And researches have shown by psychologists and all over the world that emphasize the importance and the happiness behind giving. It has even been proved that the happiest people are those ones that give generously. So please, what do we require from you? We want you to remain committed, focused, and don't be left behind, because this program is for you, is for your success. So by the time you finish this course, this IT training will have cost between $10,000 to $15,000. As you can see that this is a very huge financial and investment resources, for you as a participant. However, you are now required to pay back because this program is made possible due to generous donation of money, time, and other resources. And these resources came from generous volunteers among the board of directors and other people also all over the world. So what we are expecting from you is to pay it forward in order to continue the goodwill. So why do we need to pay forward? It's because we've been taught that there is more joy in giving than there is in receiving. So earlier, I was speaking about a research that came out a few years ago. Not to your surprise, even though with the condition of our dear country, Nigeria today, that actually Nigerians are one of the happiest people on planet Earth. Can you believe that? Despite all these situations, that we have. And why is that? Is because Nigerians generally have been taught to give, to share a smile, whatever you have, how small, how big. So you do not have to be the richest person in the world to give. And we find out that even the billionaires, some billionaires, millionaires have actually, put their job within their businesses in order to embrace their charity. We've heard from people like Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, the Bezos, spending a lot of money of their resources on charity. Why? Can they spend their money on themselves? Is because it makes them happy. It gives them more happiness or that joy that they actually requesting for. So ask yourself, search your heart. How can I do this? How can I become like that poor widow that most of us have heard about in the Bible story? Train your heart to give to other people and see how happy you will be. So what can you give? You have so much to give. You might say, I have little, or I'm young, or I'm a student. What can I give? You have a lot to give. Give your time, your resources. What about your knowledge that you will gain from this class or the ones that you already have? Your material possessions. You can do that. You can give back to others. So how can you do that? There are so many ways you can do that. One of those things you can do is to join our support volunteer. Join Communitywide support volunteers. Go to communitywide.org website and click on to become a volunteer. Other things you can do, speak with your good-hearted and blessed family members, your friends, your business friends, to become a community hope provider or associate or fellows, so they can sponsor one of our programs in order to continue to support humanity. They can support her school, a group of students, even one person, one individual. So please go to communitywide.org in order to become one of the volunteers of Communitywide charity. You do not have to be a student. You do not have to be a trainer in order to become Communitywide volunteer. Now, more so, as a student, you can even do more. If you look around you, most of our trainers here started here as a student, just like you, with Communitywide charity. And you'll be hearing some of their stories later in the video, when the video is ready. So you too, you are inclined to become a trainer as well. Connect with Communitywide on social media networks, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and whatever else have you. We are there. Request your friends to like us. Request your friends to join. I know you guys are better in doing that, but better than I do. Sometimes they still have to teach me. What are the other things you can do? Hold a tea party. What does that mean? Invite your friends to bring the gifts or donations for Communitywide, which you can now in turn collect to give back to schools. You can give clothes, for needy kids. Discuss with businesses around you, with banks around you as permitted, to allow you a place to place a donation box on their premises so that customers can drop in donations for community-wide charity. You can also arrange weekend computer repair workshop. Let people to bring their, computers to be fixed or their phone, and, you do it for free. However, whatever donations that you get there, you give it back to community-wide in order to give somebody else an opportunity. And as a community-wide support volunteer, you can arrange a weekend computer fundamental class, for young ones, for kids, for older people that are still learning how to use computers or even their phone, or a specific group of people. And participants will be requested to bring donation in cash or in kind, which you can in turn give to community-wide in order to give back to community. You can also organize the fundraising training sessions, which of course, community-wide will support you in doing this. In order for you to do this, we give you training materials, we will support you with the planning and cost delivery sections. So you see that you do have so many opportunities in order for you to give back, even as a young person, as a student, as an adult, as a business person, and wherever we are in this meeting and orientation today. And I can tell you, working for community-wide, especially, and it's so amazing. You can see the smile of people that are giving back to the community through their supporting of community-wide. You can ask Tofumi and Tolu, they will tell you how happy they've been since they've joined community-wide. You will discover that it is one of those most satisfying and rewarding jobs you can do by volunteering for any charity. It will be just like planting and watering a garden. And in time, when you see the plant growing gradually, what happened? You'll be so delighted that my job, your watering, your planting is actually producing fruits. So the harvest in terms of changing life is priceless. Please join us to light up people's life by joining community-wide charity. Thank you very much.
So at this point, we skipped a part earlier on, and it's time for us to sit back and watch how community-wide had been able to impact the lives of people positively. So please sit back and enjoy the part 1 series of our testimonials. Technical support, please go ahead. Thank you.
I joined Communitywide approximately 3 to 4 years ago with the help of Mr. Fayoshe being my instructor. He actually introduced me to Communitywide and asked me if I would love to take classes. And I said, oh, well, that's not a problem, which I did. So we started with A+, and I think after our A+ class, he encouraged me to keep going, to do net fundamentals in networking and also Security Plus. So in that process, I took another class that also helped me to gain my certification in CAP that made me to become a security assessor. And after then, I also took up a class with Security Plus. And currently I just passed my Security Plus, and like I said earlier, I had no knowledge with ITs, with computers, with motherboard, with BIOS, with building up a computer. I had no knowledge, but as a result of Communitywide, I gained the knowledge. I was able to go to a lab to open up a laptop, a desktop. I opened it up and I put it back together. And I could tap my back and say, okay, that's some of the things I gained in with Communitywide.
Hello, My name is Salman Clement, and I joined the Communitywide IT Skill Focused Training Program in the late 2019, and since then, I have been a bona fide member. Currently, I am a first-year student at the University of Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria. There were a lot of things I loved during the past IT training program. One of it was the collaborations between the instructor and the students. You get to share your opinions and well-curated ideas in class. You also get to learn from what your fellow classmates have to share. I really benefited from the IT training program because I was able to learn and know a lot of IT-related stuff. Also, I was able to pass my certification exams and acquire IT certifications. I am CompTIA A+, CompTIA Network Plus, and CompTIA Security Plus certified.
Hello, my name is Javed Chaudhry, and I am a former Communitywide student. I joined way back in January of 2020 when I was in my final year of high school. I wanted to broaden my horizons of IT knowledge, so I started studying CompTIA A+. Currently, I'm in my second year of college, studying accounting, but I still do have a focus on IT. And overall, I had a very, very excellent experience in the training program with Communitywide because it is far different than any other training program you'll probably ever go through. The format of it allows for time management and not devoting too much time to it at one moment, not to overwhelm yourself, but to progressively learn it over time so that way you can be best equipped to take your exams.
My name is Olabunke Adeloro. I joined Community IT Skill Focused Training Program the summer of 2020. I am a first aider, a CPR and BLS provider, a Google Digital Marketing certification holder, holding a BSc in accounting, and I'm a computer hardware engineer. Talking about what stood out for me during my community IT focused training, well, there are two things. Yes, two things stood out for me. One, the dedication of the trainers. Oh my goodness, they were so committed. They gave their best. And I appreciated the value of the training, the quality of the training they gave. They gave us the best, nothing short of the best. Now I know better. Then we didn't know anything. You know, you were new in the industry, and whatever they gave you, you take. But now I know they gave the best they could to us. So those two things stood out for me.
My name is Lawrence Adebenle. First and foremost, I want to thank God for giving the board of directors of this great institution the focus and the power to help both the rural ones and the less privileged ones. This type of opportunity of learning is very, very rare. For me, I created a passion for it through the encouragement that I received from the director of this program, in person of Mr. Fayeshi, who always have a language that says, no matter your age, no matter your level of education, IT is doable. I really benefited from this program, despite still being a student. I could remember when I was starting to take up the IT program at my correctional institution where I was working then, and of which I excel more than other managers who who we are of the same category, even some senior managers. I'm happy to be associated with this noble institution, and I promise to contribute my own quota to the growth of the institution. Thank you.
This man is, I wouldn't say just an epitome of knowledge. He's an asset. He's so much of value to humanity.
I second that.
Let me just introduce to every one of us, Mr. Olukayode. And let me just say one thing about him. He's very Nigerian, very African. He goes to the roots. He doesn't get, he's truly a Nigerian, a Yoruba man at it. So, and if you see by the description of his name on our screens, he puts all the armies, all the descriptions. I welcome you, Mr. Olukayode Walter Oluwole.
Well, thank you very much for welcoming me. I will not waste too much of your time and just kind of dig right into what needs to be done. But thank you very much, Ofumi. Thank you to Lou for the warm reception. In 1721, Boston was going through an epidemic, not pandemic like we're going through right now, okay? A smallpox epidemic. Onesimus introduced to his master a West African technique used in getting rid of smallpox. The idea of smallpox vaccine and vaccination was introduced to the world by a slave from West Africa. Just by that introduction to save lives. We call smallpox Shapona in Yoruba language. I'm sure there are so many other West African languages that do have a name for Shapona, but think about it. He came from West Africa. He introduced the technique of getting rid of vaccinating people in Boston in 1721 to get rid of that epidemic. People were dying. And when he did, he was saving lives. And guess what? His master's home, Puritan, what they call the pastor, Cotton Mather, that was his name. They nearly burnt his house down. Why? Because a slave introduced the idea of vaccination for the very first time in the Western world. Onesimus' impact is still being felt today. The first out of West Africa use of vaccine for virus infection. Dr. Kizzmekia Colbert, you probably don't know who she is. Her impact on humanity cannot be measured years to come. Guess what? That's her in March 2020. That's Dr. Fauci in the white coat, and that's former president of the United States, President Donald Trump. Guess what? What were you doing on your weekend? On the weekend, that woman sequenced the DNA of coronavirus in February 2020. And look at us now, right? We have a vaccine. That is Dr. Colbert. I am human. I have a special organ that weighs 3 pounds. Just like you, everybody in here has that special organ that weighs 3 pounds. I shed 40 million cells every hour, just like you. In 1 year, I will shed about 8 pounds of dead skin cells. Every 7 years, guess what? I'm going to be a new person from inside out, just like you. Fascinating. Well, the introduction has been made several times, but I'm going to go over it again just to honor the board members. The future is now is the next topic. I'm going to talk about how to harness benefits and potentials. Community-wide IT focused training program. I'm going to talk about employment opportunities and conclusion. So the introduction, I'm going to reintroduce the board members again. So here we go. Mr. Shola Muide, the CEO of the board. You can see him smiling in the corner out there. Mrs. Muide, the medical programs director. Mr. Agbola Fayeshi, executive director and CIO. I call him fondly Egbon. Myself, I'm a CTO of Communitywide. Mr. Akman Asuko, board member. Mr. Johnson Ido, Farotimi, executive director. And Mr. Taiwo Akinola, project director. So community-wide charities will light up people's lives, just like Mrs. Muide said earlier on. Be ready to, with your candle of life, we will do our best to help you light it up. You will shine brighter. than the brightest star. That's our promise, only if you're ready to do the work. The future is now. Past human revolutions, the US Industrial Revolution, yeah, that happened between 1800 to 1900. We have the Cultural Revolution in the 70s. Most of you are not pretty aware of this, but I think some of us do know what those were. Internet boom in the 90s, and the future is now. Right now is the future. IT and cybersecurity is one of the things that we're doing right in the future. And it is a revolution by itself. It's a quiet revolution, and it's going to be very fascinating for you to join the revolution. Programming, cloud and AI revolution, artificial intelligence and machine language. We're there right now. Our imagination is our limitation. Technology is a game changer. In every single facet of what we're doing right now, technology is a game changer. It doesn't matter what your field is. Age, gender, tribe, ethnicity, religion, geographic location, your disability, it's relevant. No more limitations. Join us at Communitywide. So the youth in Kenya, guess what they're doing? They're creating programs that enable deaf people to communicate in real time via smart devices. Yes, kids are doing that in Kenya. And let me move this over. Also, a young Nigerian is one of the highest paid AI programmers in the world. Do you know that? You can figure out which one is the young Nigerian out there. Can you? That's Silas. His name is Silas Adekunle. Okay, let me move over here. A Nigerian designed Chevy Volt. He designed the shell of the Chevy Volt, the electric vehicle. Guess what? That's him. Jelani Aliyu, General Motors. The reason I'm showing you some of these things is to let you understand the fact that you're not limited anymore. Nigerian genius, the first Black woman to earn PhD in aerospace engineering in the world. Guess who she is? Wendy Okolo. She works for NASA. I'm not done yet. Well, we're talking about 5G, contributions to 5G. That's Yusuf Sambo. He produced the first world 5G pop-up network. That's him out there with the first First Minister of Scotland, Nicola Ferguson. He is the one behind the development of 5G for a whole country in Ireland or in Scotland. That's a Nigerian right there. So you have no excuse not to use that 3 pounds gift, that blessing that you have from God, to use it to impact the world. And that gift, the 3 pounds gift, is your brain. You have absolutely no reason. Just like what Mr. Jerry was talking about earlier on, you have to use your mind. Being poor, it's a choice, and it's not about money. You have to enrich your mind. In October 2020, Stripe USA acquired Paystack. You probably never have heard of Paystack, for $200 million. Now, do the math. Naira is about 560 to $1 right now. Those are Nigerians. They did a startup in Lagos, Nigeria, and they had over 60,000 customers. And those are the two guys that created Stack. They were paid $200 million for their company in Nigeria, in Lagos. They never left. Shola Akinlade and Ezra Olubi. All right, let's get down to the business now. Community-wide IT focused training. All right. How to harness the benefits and potential of virtual learning. So we started off with the pencil. Well, before that we had sticks and rocks, blackboard, VHS, CD-ROM, laptop, internet, and now we're talking about smart devices. But guess what? We're going virtual. Yeah. Education without boundary, without walls is here. You don't have to be in a fixed location. Tolu is in London, Tofum is in Nigeria, and they're collaborating together to give you this presentation. I'm in Boston. All right. Now, traditional schools and institutions will catch up with this virtual classroom technology. Age, again, gender, tribe, ethnicity, religion, geographic location, doesn't matter. You have no limit. So our IT focused program is online, live training methodology, combining instructor-guided, good peer support, simulation and test preparation. You get all that from us. We've trained and guided over 100 participants in the US, Canada, and Nigeria, not only to attain IT certifications, but guided to secure high-paying jobs. We've granted thousands of dollars in scholarships, just like Mrs. Muide said, to outstanding students to adequately train them as trainers in AI, data science, and universities and institutions in the US and the UK. So this is the flyer that most of the students have had. So I'm just going to direct you to the lowest, the middle left, where you have the solid blue color. So you have about 10 to 12 hours of training during the week. And the interesting thing about the 10 to 12 hours, some of you may even need only about 5 hours. Why? The standard of measure of studying is different. Some people can learn very fast. Some people can learn very slow, all right? But the bottom line is that we want you not just to understand what you've studied, you have to comprehend it. So you can go back and do what? Be functional about it. What we're doing is not just educating and you go back and sit down for an exam. We want you to be functional. We want you to be practical, to think out of the box. You cannot think within the box anymore. Those days are over. You have to think out of the box because guess what? IT is ever evolving, all right? So on the weekends, you have 3 hours with an instructor-led program, okay? You're gonna be divided into different programs on the weekend. It could be one weekend a week, but during the week, you have your time to study by yourself. And so you're gonna have the opportunity to ask questions from your mentor during the weekend. And so, you know, the conversation about what happened the previous week and what's gonna happen in the future week is gonna be talked about, all right? Our IT programs, just as I was talking about, you have weekdays, you're gonna follow the course materials, the videos yourself at your own pace, okay? If you don't understand the video the first time, rewind it and play it again, all right? You're gonna go through quizzes and exams, and on the weekend, you're gonna have the instructor-led, and you know, you have the option to take the certification. And this is the beauty of it. Everybody starts from what? The IT fundamentals. Without the IT fundamentals, you're not going anywhere. You have to have that skin in the game. You have to be able to contribute and say, look, I'm going to go through the IT fundamentals, which is about 8 weeks. And I believe with your £3 gift, you can do it. Anybody that wants to do something, you have the ability to do it if you commit yourself into it. And we're ready to help you get there. So after the IT fundamentals, you can go 2 routes, the programming path or the IT path, you know, the CompTIA, you know, certification network. And from there, you can fork into 2. You can go into, you know, on-premises security, you know, CYSH certification, or you can go into cloud, you know, and do, you know, platform as a service or software as a service kind of certification like AWS, Azure. You have all those kind of certifications out there. Those are, it's not as bad as you look at it. It's easy if you commit yourself. It's discipline, all right? Okay, so for the CompTIA certification, it's a world recognized certification. Those are the steps. You can go as far, as high as you want. It's up to you. It's up to you. And the certification is a body that tells everybody that this person has gone through the IT fundamentals and they have passed the prerequisites and everything that's needed for that exam. And it's acceptable in the US, it's acceptable in Nigeria, it's acceptable anywhere in the world. Okay, so we have over 24 highly qualified trainers with degrees in computers and the related sciences that are certified in these programs, okay? Age is not a barrier. Your language, your location is not relevant. Just be able to learn and get these certifications through your belt. Guess what is happening now? We are now an authorized partner of CompTIA. Some of you might not even understand the impact of that. We're an authorized partner of CompTIA. Yes, community-wide is authorized. I'm saying it again and again because I'm so excited about that. The goal of CompTIA authorized partner is very simple. Provide valuable tools and resources to help academic institutions, training organizations, and content publishers. We're an academic institution, all right? And we're training organization, we're training people, and we're producing content. And they give us some of the content, we use some of our own content, and the goal is to make sure that you get that education and be functional with that education. And you'll be able to get the Communitywide certification. All right. The training program, it's a learning program, learning our unique training methodologies. We have quite a lot of trainers that were students and now became trainers, and they're coming back. Now, giving back is very fascinating when you understand the science behind it. Do you know that when you learn by yourself, it's called shadow learning. You only retain about 10% of what you learn. But when you go into deep learning, how do you get deep learning? You have to go back and repeat what you've learned. You have to be consistent. And guess what you can do with that? You can train other people and you become what? You can hold on to 90% of what you learn. You're not doing it for the people you're training. You're actually helping yourself to retain more by doing deep learning. And training people helps you to learn. And that's one of the benefits of giving back. In the process of onboarding about 200 students this time around, we have over 7 countries: Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Colombia, USA, UK, and Canada. Hooray. Okay. Now you can, there are different paths for you to develop, okay? For the software development part, you can learn Python, learn how to code. Anybody can learn that. All you have to do is put your mind into it. We have very good instructors that can help you out with this. And with real projects, you may not understand what is Python. I thought that's the name of a snake. Don't worry about it. Okay, for people that have passed the IT fundamentals and they want to be a developer, this is not just one of the best software development tools right now. There's enough jobs out there. In about a year from now, this is 2021. In about a year from now, there's going to be over 2 million job openings for Python developers. Did I say that right? 2 million. All right, we're going to have a shortage of that. So you can either decide to do something that you know there's going to be a lot of people looking for you to do the work, and it doesn't matter where you are. That's the beauty of it. Okay. Or you can still learn Python and use that as a basis for what? For you to become a data scientist. There's a little bit of math. There's a little bit of calculus and algebra that's involved in that. Or you can become an AI/ML, artificial intelligence, machine language, robotics. Your world is pretty much wide open. And because you're doing this virtually, you're not limited to where you're going. You don't have to, get on the bus or get on a motorcycle and Okada and head on to somewhere. No, you can do it in the comfort of your home. Guess what? You must have a laptop and data. So I talked about data scientists or AI/ML. The ability to think out of the box. So let me just jump out of that one. Data scientists or AI/ML, they are all interwoven. But if you learn Python, you can build that foundation and go from there. Just like if you finish up your IT fundamentals, you can go in the path of IT, whether it's cloud, whether it's on-premises, physical computers instead of cloud virtual servers. You can do either way. It's up to you. Don't limit yourself. We all have that 3 pounds of blessing. It's called the brain. You're supposed to learn until you're 6 feet under. Don't let it go. Keep learning it. If you don't learn, guess what? If you don't use it, you're going to lose it. So stay with me. All right. Why are you joining Communitywide, if I may ask? Why do you want to do that? Is it because of money, opportunities, freedom, passion, or maybe because of everything? Well, is it true or false that you need to study something related to data science to be able to work as a data scientist? Guess what? Spoiler alert, false. All right. Programming, is it hard? Nah, it's not. Data scientists, you take all that junk. It's a fancy name. All you're doing is taking all that information that's out there. Learn how to clean it up. Put some algorithm in there. It's done for you. Just know how to plug it in. Everybody knows 1 + 1 is 2. It doesn't matter where you are. Everybody knows that. That's simple. It's no different than being a data scientist. The rules are there. You engage the rules and you get that treasure of information that you want. All right. When you start hearing things like, the coronavirus, for example, I use that as a good example. They said some of the vaccines are about 90% efficient. Some are 60% efficient. That's why you have to get a booster shot. Where do you think that data is coming from? It's a data scientist that's giving you the information because they've gone in and done the study and look at the dependent variable and all the independent variables out there and gather the information to come out with a prediction. And that's what you're getting that data from. So everywhere you go, everywhere you read some information online, there's a data scientist talking to you with the information they have. Okay, so I talked to you about this artificial intelligence. You can see that big circle. You can see the data science right in there. Big data, deep learning, machine learning. They're all interconnected. Just jump into one and the ocean is yours. You can swim any which way you want. So don't be shy, we'll help you out there. Job opportunities, what you can do with it. You can be a trader, you can be a consultant, you can be user acquisition, you can be a financial analyst. Some of this, actually, most of them, you've never heard of them, all right, if you're in Nigeria right now. But guess what? You can do that. You don't have to be limited to where you are. All these things are there. They're looking for opportunities like you to be able to jump in and learn. There are so many programs. Even Google is trying to create a program that they start teaching people how to become a data scientist or AI ML, because there's so much opportunities out there. They're waiting for you to learn. So talking about employment opportunities, okay. Communitywide Institute of Technology, which is different from charity, communitywide.org, that's Communitywide IT, we call it, is in the process of collaborative agreement with global HR companies. For example, in Nigeria, we're trying to work with the HR Association of Nigeria to be able to build a portal that we can have community-wide students go into, and the opportunity will be there. There's demand. We're just going to create that community so that we'll be able to match people that are looking for experts like you are going to be in a few months, and to jobs that are waiting out there. They're looking for people that can really function in their job, not because they have a certificate, but people that know how to do the job. And oh yes, the instructors are not just instructors. They are living and breathing what they do for a living, all right? So you're not being instructed or being mentored by someone that just got a piece of paper certification. These people are doing it as part of what they do every single day. All right, so we talked about securing employment opportunities for all our trained certified students. Okay, we have successfully placed or secured contracts for many of our current students. Conclusion. Again, I'm going to go back. I have a brain, and you too. It's about 3 pounds. That's a wonderful organ that we all have that benefit and blessing. You can do two things. You can use it as a decoration, or you can use it. So look at the Walter Luale, I've chosen to learn, to solve challenges. Every single problem is an opportunity for a solution. Remember that. So don't, I have a problem. No, you don't have a problem. You need to find a solution for it, all right? That's the way you need to think. Think differently. I want to share my knowledge, and I love sharing it. I have so many wonderful people. It's just fun for me to share my knowledge. Why? Because I keep relearning and I can retain more, all right? Remember, the deep learning, you retain 90% of your knowledge if you share it, train people, and teach. If you just learn, you only remember what? 10% of it. So I choose to share my knowledge. So are you ready to start your journey to positively impact the world we live in? What are you waiting for? Go in peace, love, and knowledge. We work together and our world is going to be a better one. Remember that. We're all the same. One love, Uriel goodness. All right, that's me signing off. Thank you very much.
What a presentation by Mr. Walter.
At this point, we would also be going through, remember I said earlier on that we're having 4 series videos for you to see what we are doing, to see how Communitywide is really lightening up the lives of other people. So we were going to be going through the second testimony videos. Please sit back. If your popcorn has finished, don't worry. You're going to get the virtual popcorn very soon. I know I have the item number 7 people. They will go around and send in your virtual popcorns. Tolu, please send our cocktail.
And Coke.
Yeah, so Mr. Magnus, the floor is all yours. Thank you.
My name is Rachel Ayorinde. I was introduced to Communitywide in 2020 by Mr. Magnus Ayodeji. I did an interview with them, I got selected, and that was how my IT journey started with Communitywide. I was in the course of that when an opportunity occurred for me to write a letter of sponsorship to study artificial intelligence and machine learning in the University of Texas, which I did. I was given admission in the University of Texas, and Communitywide sponsored me. Right now, I'm a data scientist with Communitywide. Not just that, I remember during the course of my interview with them, I told them some of my goals. One of the things that I remember that I told them was that I would like to be able to help young females like me in Nigeria in the area of information technology. I am achieving that right now because I'm one of their trainers, so it's possible for me to train as many females as possible, which I'm so excited about. So if you are a student, or maybe you want to switch career, or you don't have much money to go to school, but you are looking for where to get the skills needed to get a good job, this is just the right place for you. All you have to do is to be focused. You need to be determined. You need to know exactly what you want and also be ready to learn. I am looking forward to seeing your beautiful faces in class. See you then. Bye for now.
Hi, my name is Oluwatofumi Felicia. I'm the program manager for Communitywide Charities Incorporation. I am a registered town planner, and I joined the IT skill focused training in 2019 as a trainee, and I must say it has been an amazing journey. As a BTech holder in urban and regional planning who has no previous knowledge in anything relating to IT, the program has been able to help me such that whether you have a previous knowledge or you do not have a previous knowledge in anything relating to information technology, you can become an expert in that field. Now, what really stood out for me during the course of the training were the fact that the trainers were professional. They knew what they were doing, and I got the support system that I needed to get from the trainers. I also got the support that I needed to get from the mentors. That's the organization itself. I also want to say that what also stood out for me in the course of the program were the study groups created. We created study groups so that we were able to have a discussion ahead of time for our different certification examination. I learned time management. It helped me so much during the course of the program.
Hello, my name is Edili Shlakumi, and I joined Communitywide's IT Skill Focus training in fall of 2019, September, October. We started off with the CompTIA A+ class, then we advanced to CompTIA Network Plus / MTA Network Fundamentals class, and then we went over to Security Plus, which we just completed a few months ago. My current educational level, I just completed high school a few weeks ago, so right now I'm in the middle ground between high school and college. Now, some of the things that stood out for me in the training was the fact that we could present, and I feel that's a very, very important skill in the world we're living in today. Public speaking, both online and in person. And once you have that skill, you'll be able to confident enough to present in front of people you haven't even met before, and then you won't fret. Like I used to fret a lot before, I would get very fidgety, but now I'm very confident that I can speak well with people. Another thing I also liked are the wonderful trainers that we had. Bradeji, Mr. Bukola, Mr. Chimezi, and Mr. Chika. Now, those 4 trainers really helped us a lot from A+ down to Security Plus. I was thinking that I would be looked down upon considering the fact that I was the youngest in class. And all I had to do was just mind my business, learn, and then hop out of class. But it was the direct opposite. It took me as their family because we formed study groups that we used to learn and study for the exams. And they always encouraged me frequently after every presentation I made. And that made me determined not to disappoint anyone when I went to take my exams. And I was able to pass. And some of the exams I took, certifications I have now, I have my CompTIA A+, and I also have Microsoft's MTA Network Fundamentals, which is like a resort to CompTIA Network Plus. So yes, I'm a Microsoft Technology Associate, and I should have taken my Security Plus earlier than now, but because of my high school exams, so I wasn't able to. But pretty soon I will take the exam, and I'm sure I'll pass it with God's help.
Okay. I think I'm going to introduce our next guest, Mr. Ayodele Okpadina. I'm going to tell you a few things about him. Mr. Okpadina is one of the cyber security guru in the US. There is no doubt about it. Not only from the contract, the positions, the things he does for the federal government, which cyber security people will not tell you. If they tell you, they have to kill you. So he will not tell you, but he does not only just enjoy the work, he establishes with the help of some other friends to set up an IT cybersecurity training school in the US here. And his school has turned out several, I won't know the number, of people who now works for government as cybersecurity specialists. So I got to meet him about maybe 5-7 years ago, if not more. We were identifying how to build systems. So from that time on, we've related not just as professional colleagues, but as like some of my other friends here, Egma and Aburo. That's the kind of relationship that is between us. So when he heard about this program, he was excited. He said, this is what Nigeria needs. This is what we needed now. And he will be all for it. So Mr. Okpadina, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Fayeshe, even though I'll prefer to address you as Baba. Because those before me that are also my Egbons have been addressing you as Baba, so there's nothing more than to address you as Baba. But before I say anything, I want to express my profound appreciation for what Communitywide Charity Incorporation is doing in the life of our people, both in Nigeria and Africa in general. For the students that are currently enrolled and those that have passed through the program, I want to say one thing to you. You are very, very lucky. Because I can tell you when Baba started in the IT field, what we know today as IT is not then IT. I left University of Lagos without graduating. You know why? I couldn't set my eyes on a computer until I traveled to US. But now we have individuals, corporate organizations, Mr. and Mrs. Muyide, the executive members of Communitywide, taking IT into our bedroom. I want to say thank you. Thank you for your good work. And I can assure you that whatever I myself can do, I will definitely liaise with Baba to contribute my little quota. As Mr. Oluwole quickly said, IT field is worldwide. Any domain in IT, just figure out what you want to do. There's prospect, whether you're a medical doctor, a nurse, a dentist, military, you will have your place. The global economy is the largest consumers of IT professionals. So I want you to listen to what I just said, the global economy. There is no aspect of the economy in our world today that doesn't require one IT professional or the other. Because of that, the global economy has transformed IT into something that Koshemani, I'm sorry for speaking that Yoruba language, that is something that you cannot do it. So those of you that are coming in to learn, it's an assurance for you that, hey, there's a job waiting for me. Baba Fayeshe, when I met with him, I used to tell him that, oh, Daddy, when I started working for DOD, I can count those of us that are blacks in the cybersecurity field in the fingers of my hand. Because they will tell you that field is meant for white people. But look at it today. We are training people in Nigeria. We are training people in Liberia. We are training people in Ghana. I want to commend you, sir. I want to commend the boards. Those who have the vision, I say thank you. Because you don't know what you are doing in the life of these people. And I pray that this beneficiary also will be able to go back and sow the seed more than what you have done. Bill Gates makes it possible. You see, government said they want to redistribute wealth. They'll be giving some people money, they'll be doing some programs, but Bill Gates single-handedly redistribute wealth. You know how? By introducing the Microsoft Windows computers, whereby everybody can play on their keyboard, create content. When I started in the IT field, we were using command line because I'm a Unix guy. And we used to be very cocky that nobody knows Unix. We don't want people to get into that carcass. But today, I realized that it was ignorance. And that is why I ensure that I train as many people as I can train in my area of concentration: Unix, cybersecurity, and now cloud security. You go to any area in the US government, when you say Delhi, in FBI, they say, oh yes, I know him from Cybersoft. Pentagon, the same thing. But that is not the story of today. The story of today is we need to rally around community-wide charity organization. Let us encourage them. For those of us who are professional listening in, we have no cause not to jump into the boat and sail with them. Baba, Mr. and Mrs. Muyide, Mr. Oluwole, great job and kudos to what you're doing. We will be reaching to each other behind, through the normal channel, so that at least whatever I can do as an individual, my company, Cybersoft, can do, we will be able to ally and empower and continue to empower our people. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to celebrate with you. And I believe we will live to reap the goodness of this foundation, of this plant that Baba and the other executive members are planting. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Oh, thank you very, very much, Mr. Opadina. It gladdens my heart. We've worked together many, we have worked together many years, but I think we are just getting started. Because I know you are a big fish, and Communitywide happened to have caught the two biggest fish in the cybersecurity world. The students will get to know you. So you are going to come in as one of our trainers, there's no doubt. Mr. Oluwale, we
grace
drag
of God.
him, but he's addicted to it now. And I know who you are too when it comes to training. These students will benefit. Thank you very, very much. We appreciate it.
So we will be watching. Remember, I mentioned earlier that we have 4 series video, testimonial videos. So we're going to be saying the 3rd one now. So can we have the 3rd testimonial video come up, please? Thank you.
Also, they also helped me in getting my first, my first laptop, which I'm currently using at the moment now. I get my first laptop, and Communitywide has made my transition into the cybersecurity field smoothly, because I had so many materials. I had help from Mr. Fayoshe, I had help from Mrs. Fayoshe too, and also help within the classroom setting. We had a small classroom setting, we're all friendly. We had a WhatsApp group which we keep in touch, and also ask questions if we need to ask questions. And currently I want to say thank you to Communitywide, because I can proudly say I'm a security assessor at the moment. I assess the controls, I look at the systems, I still ask him questions, which is always there at my point and as my point of call person. And I want to say a big thank you for Communitywide for the privilege that you gave me. And I'm still using Communitywide as my foundational source into IT. I can't say my IT career without talking about Communitywide. So I want to encourage anyone that has opportunity to join the class or join any program with Communitywide, please make good use of that opportunity. And thank you, Communitywide, once again.
So overall, other things as well with the program that really stand out to me is that there's a great sense of teamwork within it. The instructors, the students, everyone is interested in helping each other to get to the common goal of passing our exams. And we're always delighted to hear of when our classmates pass, and we're delighted to help them get to that point. So it was a really fun experience. I've made many friends from it, and it was enjoyable overall. And I think anyone who will go through it will find it enjoyable. Now, it's not to say that you don't put in hard work, because even though you space out the work you do, you still have to put in effort, because it matters not only to you, but it matters to your classmates as well.
As one of the new students, I am sure you're excited to start your training program. Well, as a student who had gone through the training program before, take this advice. You need to be diligent and industrious, because you definitely need these qualities in the long run. Come to class early, participate actively in class, do your assignments, and practice what you've learned, because what you've learned is the most important. Welcome to Communitywide IT Skill Focused Training Program.
It's very impressive. It was impressive for me because given the quality of training, I know what it would have cost if I were to pay for it. Like for instance, given the standard in the US, that training couldn't have been less than $4,000. Take your training very seriously. Please, I beg you. What you are getting is nothing short of world-class training. I tell you, when you get into it, you will understand what I'm saying. So please take it very seriously, and you stand to gain, because it's going to improve your quality. If you are looking for promotion, that promotion you've been waiting for and it wasn't forthcoming at your place of work, at your current job, be sure that these certification exams could land you, get you your promotion.
Now, some advice I'll have to give for our incoming students is something Tom Ford said. Coming together is the beginning. keeping together is progress. Working together is success. I can guarantee you that if you work hard with your instructors and your fellow classmates, the knowledge you planned on getting from this training will be doubled, if not tripled, because the resources that you'll be given are top-notch, and the trainers themselves are professionally trained trainers. So the knowledge that you'll be getting will be very, very, very worth it. So please, I would like to beg that you cooperate with your trainers and also work hard together with your fellow classmates. Any assignments you are given, please turn them in on time, and as such, you have a wonderful time in class. Thank you.
Now, as I mentioned before, I started with CompTIA A+. Now I've finished CompTIA A+. That took me about 8 months. And then I moved on to Microsoft Networking Fundamentals. And I've passed both of those. So overall, I would say that, like I said before, prepare to put in hard work. Make sure you're going to be devoted to it, because we don't want anyone who's not going to be around or give focus to it. All of our students who are committed to making sure they do their best, and be prepared to have an enjoyable experience with your classmates and instructors, and just make sure that you put in all the effort you believe it deserves.
Now, there are some other successes that I had during the course of the IT Skill Focus Training Program in 2019, and one of such is the fact that I was able to bag my CompTIA A+ certification. I am a Microsoft associate, and I also learned SharePoint that made me become a SharePoint expert. First of all, you need to challenge yourself. Challenge yourself that yes, you can do this. Others have done it, and you are also going to be able to do it. Take notes during classes. Do not take your assignments for jokes. Ensure that you do your assignments. Connect with your classmates. Pay attention, the scores. Don't see yourself, don't isolate yourself. You're going to be meeting different people. You will definitely learn from each other. I'm going to be leaving you with this word from Ellen Hayes. The expert in a field was once a beginner. You are about to start a journey to becoming an expert. Do not give up. I'm going to see you guys at the top. Thank you. Bye.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Junior once said something that I'd like to share with you. Everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and your verbs agree to serve. You don't have to know the secondary theory of thermodynamics in physics to serve. You only need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love. First, I'd like to heartily welcome the participants of this year's orientation program. It gives me an immense pleasure to extend very warm greeting on behalf of Communitywide Charities Incorporation, where we light up people's lives. I will be introducing to you our trainers and volunteers. These are amazing men and women, old and young, who have been extremely selfless. Our trainers and volunteers are proofs of genuine love. In no particular order, I will introduce them, and I will be appreciating if you could give us a virtual clap. We know we are not seeing ourselves physically, but we would appreciate them by virtually giving them a round of applause while I introduce them. First on my list is a simple and a resolute man in person of Mr. Bukola Fayeshe. He's simple and he's resolute. I would like the students to ensure they know these two things that best describes these trainers, so they will understand why we usually ask them the questions that, what are the two words that best describes you? We are not going to be having the same set of people in this program. You're going to be having different types of persons in this program, different personalities, and see how you're going to be learning from each and every one of them. Mr. Chimezie Oji is curious and is a visionary person. And here is Mr. Chimezie Oji. We have honest and resourceful Mr. Nifemi Medenyelo. We have rugged and honest Mr. Clement Goodness, and this is Mr. Clement Goodness. We have easygoing and sincere Mr. Ayodele Fayeshe. You can see how he's dressed. He's easygoing and he's actually sincere. This next person is humble and respectful. We call him Pa Adegbenle Pa Eli. This is Mr. Lawrence Adegbenle. We have Mr. Chika Oji, who is hardworking and witty. Here is Mr. Chika Oji. Miss Robinson is reserved and observant. I would like you people to watch out for her. She is really a reserved and an observant person. And we have our very youngest trainer, Ms. Shalakumi Oyedele, who is creative and curious. We have motivated and compassionate Javed Chaudhry. That's Mr. Javed. My humble self, tenacious and exuberant. And we have Mr. Magnus Ogunseyi, who is resilient and tenacious. That's not all. We also have Mr. Laolu Fayeshe, who is inquisitive and kind. And here is Mr. Laolu Fayeshe. We have Mrs. Bolanle Oji, who is adaptable and caring. She is really an adaptable and caring woman. Everyone, please look out for her in class. We have Ms. Temitope Oladokun, who is privileged and grateful. Here is Ms. Temitope. She is one of our AI experts. We have Mr. Adebayo Adejumo, who is resilient and humble. Here is Mr. Adebayo Adejumo. We have Mr. Taiwo Orugbangba, who is passionate and intelligent. And here is Mr. Orugbangba Taiwo. And we have our ever determined and straightforward Miss Rachel Ayorinde. This is Miss Rachel Ayorinde. And my special co-host, Mr. Adeogun Tolulope, who is ambitious and adaptable. He is really, really an adaptable and ambitious person. I can testify to that. And we have Mrs. Adeloro, who is honest and resilient. Here is Mrs. Adeloro. We have Mr. Ololade Adekomi, who is inquisitive and tenacious. Here is Mr. Adekomi. And we have Mr. Azubike Ewerem, who is humble and diligent. I'm going to be saying a very short story about these wonderful men and women. Some of them were trainers, students with Communitywide IT Institute of Technology. And the more they give, the more they learn. They also came to Communitywide to learn. Did they leave us? No. They stayed through the end and gave back what they have learned. The world who came as trainees and trainers, isn't that amazing? Juggling two things together. It shows the essence of how humble and willing to learn, and the willingness for them to also be able to give back to the community. They have passed their various IT professional certification through the training provided by Communitywide IT, Communitywide Charities Incorporation, to say that they are certified. They are not going to be taking you through a route that is not, that they themselves have not even traveled on. They lead and you follow as well. So you need to be assured, because you're going to be meeting them during your study with Communitywide, your program with us. I can assure you that you're in good hands and you will benefit from the wealth of parcel of these essential benefits to community and that of the world at large. Now to all the prospective students, do not just start. You know, a literal athlete starts from a start line, and irrespective of how tired such one is, especially those that are always they do this long distance running, you notice no matter the obstacle they're going through while they are on the track, they do not just give up. They endeavor the guts to the end of the journey. I want to wish you all the very best on this journey. I want you to please be open-minded to learning. I want you to be determined to stay through down to the very end. Will it be easy? No. But will it be worth it? Yes. I look forward to seeing your success stories like ours, joining the bandwagons of trainers, becoming experts in your respective fields. The sky is just the limit. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you.
That was a fantastic presentation by our host.
I am sure that I'm familiar to most people here, and I am going to go quickly over some of these because many of what I'm about to say have been said. It's an opportunity to welcome everybody to this occasion, and I'm sure everyone is going away with something. But most importantly, this has been made possible by community-wide charities. And we want you going forward to please become a part of this organization because you can make a difference. I'm going to address two separate sets of people. First, to our students, how to become the master of your own destiny. The future is not set in stone. The future is whatever you make it. I'm just going to give you a few guidelines that if you follow, you will succeed. You've heard about the nonprofit, about our community-wide. You know our policy. Our philosophy is to bring relief to the needy and to teach skill to support people to improve the quality of their life. The two things between being rich and being poor, the one thing is opportunity. If you are born and you didn't have the opportunity, you may remain perpetually poor. If you are born and you have the opportunity, it doesn't matter whether your parents are rich, they are not rich. If you have opportunity, if somebody gives you that opportunity to move, you may achieve what you set out to do. But I mean, being poor or rich can be seen from different perspectives. We're not going to talk about that now. We're going to talk about the program of organization community-wide. The president has mentioned a lot of them: help a neighbor, skill-focused training, disaster and food relief, medical care, and outreach. In all these, we've done a lot for people, not only here in the US, in Nigeria, in other parts of the world. We've trained people in the US. We've trained people in different parts of the world. We've distributed food, we buy wheelchair and other things. So if you go to our website, communitywide.org, you will see many of the things we are doing currently, and we appeal to you to please donate. The skill-focused training, we designed it around experience. I became a Microsoft certified trainer in 1998. I love training because my previous life, as long as I can remember, I've always had the opportunity to train even when I was very young. I trained typing. I trained people shorthand. So when I got into IT, I began to see the need to get people to train. When my wife was speaking the other time, when we got to the US, I wanted to learn badly, and I went to a training institute. I spent only 1 week there. I'm sorry, I was bored. Not only that, the teachers were just reading their PowerPoint. And I said, no, I cannot just sit around and somebody reads to me. Can you give me the materials? And I went back home with the materials and I started reading it. I enjoy reading it more than I enjoy listening to the teacher. So fortunately, I was able to do my certification. But can you do it? Yes, anybody can do it if you put your mind to it. When they first showed me what I need to read to have my MCSC, it's 7 big books. I look at it, I said, no way. I will never be able to fit those into my brain. But you know why? With time, I was able to pass my MCSC, not once, not twice, 3 times, because Microsoft keep changing. And you can do a cross test, but because I want to be a trainer, I want to learn it all the way from beginning to the end before I teach others, like Mr. Oluwole said the other time. So these are the things we package together in our IT focused training, how you can learn and teach. And we base this all on the experiences that we have had. So the methodology we came up with that we find works. Mr. Oluwole made reference to this the other time. You are given a video tutorial to go home with. You use your time, you self-taught. You can pause the video, you can rewind, you can listen to it many times as you want. Once in a week, you come to class, you meet your colleagues, you meet the trainer. The trainer presents to you. You have the opportunity also to make presentation. And also because you are learning to talk to others, you do it better. And even trainers will learn from what we hear from students. One 11-year-old student in our class, for the first time, he described TCP/IP to me the way I will never forget. 11-year-old. He said TCP/IP is like when you want to send a letter. It doesn't matter where it is. If you put the address and you put the city, you put the code, it will get there because there is post office on the way that we sort it where it needs to go. Isn't that what TCP/IP and protocol is all about? And this 11-year-old explained it so simply. So everybody learns. When you learn in a group, the trainers learn. And the group discussions, and the trainers help to guide you. And then we come to test prep. We get all past test questions. We get everybody to prepare for it. They present the answers. We tell them which is right, which is wrong. And bravo, they go for certification and they pass. We've been very successful. Most of our students pass at their first trial. And we've had like 99% success rate. So we know it's doable. You can do it. We are not only getting you to certification, we are trying to get internship and job opportunity. I'm going to talk a little about that. The president, Mr. Muide, is currently in negotiation with global hiring HR companies to get those to work with CIT, Communitywide IT, to prepare jobs. So if you go along with us, if you pass your certification, yes, we'll be able to get job for you. All right. What you are learning with us is not just, you are not just learning computers. Everybody here who's gone through our courses, you will see them shining because we teach them presentation skill, evaluation skills, report writing, mentoring, everything is packaged into this training. Let me give you one example. Why are companies, corporations not making Nigeria a hub? Why are they not trying to hire from Nigeria? We identify it, only 2 major obstacles. Number one, your electricity. People will not be able to get their staff when they want it. We solved that. I will talk to that about later. Number 2, unfortunately, our customer service skills. The way you pick up the phone and answer your customer. Nigerians, I'm a Nigerian. Nigerians have to be re-educated. There are different ways in the world where how to address your customer. So all our students are going through such training so that when they finish, they will be able to step into the professional world and they will succeed. So what you are required to do, we are going to do our own side, but it requires hard work. There's no substitute for hard work. You have to set out time for your study. You have to prepare research, produce your weekly report, participate in group practices to ensure your success. Trust me, if you don't follow this, you will drop off or the organization will ask you to go. We've done that before. We only want to associate with those who are ready to improve their own lives. It's either you plan and you follow, or you just follow live wherever it takes you. And if you do that, you're not going to get anywhere. You have to visualize where you want to go. You have to be ready to learn. You have to stay. You have to remain positive. You will give yourself latitude on the way. Yes, you enjoy the ride, but on the end, success is waiting for you. If you don't plan, nothing good happens. If you plan, you will get to where you want to go. Set goals for yourself, but I say set smart goals. This is in project management: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. And in what way are you specific? You don't just want to say, oh, I want to pass my Security Plus. How do you get there? So you must sit down to show, how do I want to get from point A to point B? And it must be measurable. How will you get there? What do you want to do to get there? If you want to do Security Plus, you probably want to do A plus, Network Plus, and get there. Or at least you do your A plus to go there. Your goal must be attainable. If you don't plan, you will not get anywhere. You start from the bottom of the ladder and you can go gradually. Realistic. There will be obstacles on the way. There will be things that will make you not attain your goals. We were interviewing one student, and she says she has problem in the university. What was your problem? She said during out the semester, 2-3 semesters, she was sick. Okay, we know that you deal with that. And she was looking for a very high grade, but the grade she got she was not happy with. You have to be realistic. That is what life has given you. So if life gives you lemon, make lemonade out of it. So don't let obstacle problem bring you there. Find your way around it. Time bound. I want to run marathon. I'm preparing to run marathon. The next question you are going to ask me is when? Oh, I don't know. Sometime down the road. That's not a goal. Oh, I'm planning to run marathon February next year. Aha. Then I will go now. What does it take? I will start from, I have to be specific. I have to be to measure. And it has to be, if I am sick, if I'm still dealing with the illness that I'm dealing with, is that attainable? I will say no. Is it realistic? Probably not. So you see, you have to set goals for yourself. So let's break it down. Please, setting goals, you have to be specific. For example, you are putting a project. You want to do a test, okay? You have to set time to review. How often? Twice daily. That's a task. You are setting big things now into small, manageable chunks. You have to memorize acronyms. How often? Daily. When will you have time for it? When I'm traveling in the bus? When I'm waiting somewhere? So that's a task. You set time for it. You have to memorize the protocols. So set these things out. It matters. Don't just wave it off. If you don't set time, you will not attain it. When we got to the US, I have kids, my wife was working, I was working, life was difficult, but we wanted to go to the next level. We wanted to study. Where will we find time for that? After I juggle, I find out that the best time for me is to start at 10 in the night and study up to 12. 2 hours, 3 hours, then it became an habit. And I was able to do what I need to do. Your success is not whether you are intelligent, you are super intelligent. Mr. Oluwole mentioned it. We all have that 3 pounds. It depends on how you use it. Use it or lose it. So use this digital assistant that everybody has. Either you use OneNote or your daily to-do. Go on your phone, download the to-do, Microsoft To-Do or your OneNote, and keep it. Let me tell you the secret of most successful people, researchers, psychologists, follow them. What one thing do you think they have in common? Not because their parents were rich, not their education, not their smartness. The one thing they have in common is they are focused, they manage their day. So in the morning, set out what you want to do. In the midday, review what you have done. Review and prioritize. At night, go back and look what you have achieved. You know why? If you do that regularly for 3 weeks, it becomes your habit. And psychology also find that people who do that, they are less stressful. But not only are they less stressful, they achieve what they set out to do. Because why? They keep a list of what they want to do. They are able to manage their day. It is simple. Take it from me today. I've taught several people. Teaching was my life for many, many years. Those who saw me later, they remind me of this. They said they followed it, it worked for them. Psychologists also said this works. So if you don't take anything away from today, please take this one simple lesson. Manage your day effectively. You will succeed. Okay? Now, time management is good. 30 minutes before or after bed. Do it for something that you really want to set time for. If you want to build your spirituality, do 30 minutes before or after, before you go to sleep or when you are going to sleep. Travel time, make use of it. People don't. Read on your way. Get your phone to read to you. If you are traveling in the car, make it read to you. When you are waiting in the office for somebody to come, you are waiting for your guests, use that, seal that time. How about when you are in the restroom, when in the toilet, take that to read. Trust me, if you harness this, you'll be having 2 to 3 hours to yourself in a day. Try it, you'll be surprised. Okay, people remind me of this also. Think positive, okay? Keep friends that are positive. If you keep negative people around you, they will draw you down. If you keep positive people around you, it's infectious. Take one test. If you are going in a crowd, you find about 3 people coming towards you. Smile. What do you think you get back? All of them will smile. Find your face. What do you think they give you back? They will just be wondering what is wrong with this person, and they are giving you a frown back. So be positive and keep positive friends. Okay? So set your goal, follow it. Success will be waiting for you when you get to the other end. All right. That is taking us to the big question. Do you want to walk on the road to success? Join us in Communitywide. You will be there. Now, I want to talk to, I'm done with the students now, to everybody around here, to our donors, to our dignitaries. Let's make a dream. Do you dare to dream? I'm calling you to action. So, what is it? Currently, there are millions of cybersecurity and cloud computing jobs. There are vacancies in the US, millions that are not filled. If you want to find out, just go into Google and type how many cybersecurity, cloud computing, AI jobs that are there. You will see there are millions. Our universities cannot provide the professionals needed. They don't have that time. The cost of not filling those positions is in the trillions of dollars and a collapsed economy for developed world. US has to find about 1 million cybersecurity professionals, not in the next 3-4 years. No, tomorrow. Because if they don't, the danger of cyber attack to power grid, dams, communication network is growing every day. So they need people to man those industries, to man everywhere. You can do it if we train these professionals. Well, gladly, COVID-19 has taught everybody in the world that jobs and services can be performed remotely. Yes, anybody can be anywhere in the world to provide services across the world. Already, global hiring and recruiters are already refining their operations in order to hire from across the world. Google is doing it, Amazon is doing it, everybody is doing it, but it's going to even intensify. So as we speak, two of our current students, I introduced you to them shortly. They are already working internationally, but that is just the beginning. We're going to make sure that we have a remote help desk in Boston, the capital, this office of cyber of Communitywide, that people can log into from anywhere in the world and provide help desk services. So this is a call to action. This is the time to recruit and train our youth on IT profession. This is the time for our youth to earn good income without leaving their homeland. Brains no longer need to drain away to foreign lands. Our youth no longer needs to end up dead crossing the rivers, crossing the seas, trying to get to where they think the grass is greener. No. This is the time to turn the tide in our favor and harness this one in a lifetime opportunity for all developing countries. This is the time to use the Internet of Things, the international connectivity, to provide jobs for our youth without leaving their country. The opportunity is now. Together, we can do this. No time to wait for tomorrow, because it has to be done now. Do you call this a dream? Yes, it is. But these dreams can come true if only you work to make it so, to make it a reality. Bill Gates dreamt of putting a computer in every home in America. He succeeded. He has it in every home in the world. I was still in university then. I was doing punch card on mainframe in Canada. And we're talking of every home having a computer. This man must be out of his senses. It's too expensive. No. Now computer is in every home. Actually, if you only have one in your home, I don't think you have many students. Amazon founder dreamt of selling books online without a shop. Now he sells everything, not only a book, including cow dungs. Google it. You will find it on Amazon if you think I'm joking. So if you can start packaging cow dungs and you can be shipping it and people are there, they are paying, you'll be surprised how much it costs. Yeah, cow urine, cow dungs. He's selling it. He went from selling a book to selling just everything. Now, if you read recently, he's saying that he's going to build a shop where with no cashier, nobody, you just enter, pick what you want, and you go out. Automatically, they build your account straight. He will do it. Students at universities once had a dream to create a site where everyone can meet and greet. Yeah, that site is called Facebook. So dare to dream. The people behind Google, behind YouTube, behind WhatsApp had their dreams fulfilled in our own lifetime. You see them. They sat down, they said, this is an opportunity. YouTube said, we can have everybody put their video for free. Where are you going to get the storage for that? They took every opportunity, challenges, they got it. WhatsApp group, they create a forum where I don't have to pick up the phone and pay 50 cents a minute to talk to my relative in India, in Nigeria, in Ghana. People thought it was impossible. But you know what? The whole billions of people around the world, they now have WhatsApp. Where there's a will, there's a success waiting at the other end. Be part of this dream. It is simple. It can be done. It can be realized. This time next year, Communitywide estimated that we can train 3,000 IT professionals in Nigeria. But the number keeps growing. We're going to offer this training for free, but you have to nominate a school. Get your club, your friends, your local government. It is to nominate one school. So what are we going to do? The plan from Communitywide is simple. We will train 3 teachers from each existing school, from their staff. We'll take 3 teachers from their staff who have any background in computer science or in electronics, or who have experience, who have the will to learn. We will train 3 teachers, 3 months online training, train the trainers. I've done this for years. We'll do a 3-month workshop. And at the end of that 3 months, those will use the methodology that we have used with Communitywide that works. We'll use it to train those teachers. Each teacher will enroll and train 20 students on the Communitywide online IT training platform. Communitywide have that. So trained teachers will participate in the training of 20, that is during their last year of college, 12th graders. When they're in the last year to go, the teacher will, each teacher. So we are going to train 3 for the schools that enroll. Therefore, each trainer should have 50 to 60 students graduating as IT professional. That is, they are going from class to work. We have done it successfully. You've seen them, you've heard from them, both here in the US and other countries. Those students, they were 13, they were 14 when they get started. We can compress the whole training to 9 months, 12 months, and those students will graduate. And all our students, when they get out, I'm excited here in the US, especially in the US, because I have a lot of high schoolers. When their mom, some of the co-workers will work together, I'll tell their mom, let them go and learn this, let go, I'll be a mentor to them. You know what? Some of them passes just their A+ before they finish high school. We have one that his first salary was 60,000. He couldn't believe it because he have A+ and security plus just out of high school. So it is doable. We've done it. We've done it in Nigeria. We've done it in many places. It is achievable. So the Communitywide online IT training platform is capable of hosting more than 10,000. So we have the platform to carry it. Communitywide is negotiating global HR with global HR companies that will create offshore employment for our graduates. And you might be saying, oh, who will hire people from Nigeria? They will. We know how to give them security background. We'll work around that. We are already doing it. So this is the time to embark on an earnest and aggressive training of our youth. To wait is to waste valuable time. The path to well-paying job is no longer for the children of the rich or for the future of those who are fortunate to migrate abroad. The next phase is to focus on producing expert, young and vibrant from our youth for the next frontier. There's an urgent need to train our youth in cybersecurity, cloud computing, and artificial intelligence. These are the courses that Communitywide is offering for free. By the time somebody gone through our courses, we have given them between $10,000 to $15,000. Everybody here in the US knows what those courses, what they cost. These are what our current students have. So the identified global need is more urgent beyond what the traditional universities can fill. We are ready to collaborate with universities and corporations to incorporate our methodology that we have found that works. This is the time for you all to make a difference. Please sponsor a school that will turn out at least 100 IT professionals. For the cost of sending a child abroad, you will have trained 100 students. You will be reducing unemployment in Nigeria, in Sierra Leone, in Liberia, and the resultant insecurity and violence that has gripped the country. You no longer can drive as you want. You no longer can travel from one place to another. When you have about 50 people, 100 people banding together to come and steal, why? If they have a good job, if they have good income, they will not be putting their life at risk to do that. Nigeria used to be a place we love to go back to. When I studied abroad and I had the opportunity to remain, I was even being begged to remain. I said, no, I want to go back to my country because I think my country needs me. Yes, I worked tirelessly for that country. I got millions of dollars in grants for Nigeria, for other countries in Africa. Unfortunately, the violence and the crime sent me out of that country. I would have died if I didn't go. Assassination has stamped on my life 3 times. I had to leave, but I'm glad I leave because I'm still alive to be able to help. But please, let us help. Let us help. Communitywide has worked out all the logistics. Trust me, it is practical, it is inexpensive, it is doable. 1, procure refurbished computers between 10 to 30. Okay, you can buy them from here, you can buy them from Lagos, you can buy them from anywhere. It doesn't have to be a high-end computer. Give it to a school. All right, we have a way around that works. Procure a router from an internet service provider, MTN, Glo, or whatever, and pay a monthly subscription between 5,000 to 10,000 naira per month, at the most 20,000. Okay? Procure a small solar generator inverter with mobile solar charger to supply constant power. So you have internet, you have power constantly. We are not telling you what doesn't happen. Almost all our trainers in Nigeria have this. That is why they are able to communicate with us. They are able to communicate with trainers in the US. Anytime we want them, they are there, they can communicate. You see all of them, you see their faces. So it is possible. We do that. We've been doing it for 2 years. It's working. And this solar generator is not that expensive. Where Communitywide is actually planning a program where we will be able to produce this in Nigeria, but that is for another time. We can still buy these and give them to schools. Let the teachers operate them. Let the teachers manage them. So, Communitywide started out to train just 5 trainers. From my sickbed, we ended up training 20. Those trainers are still with us. In addition, just this month alone, we have 15 who have registered to start training this month. In January, we're going to start for as many schools as we're able to register. So these are teachers with degrees in computer science and other related fields. All of them now have added top IT certifications throughout through our program. I think Communitywide has the best source of trainers. I've been in the US, I've worked with governmental agencies, I've worked with contracting agencies, I've worked with schools like Cybersoft. I don't think I have seen a collection of about 25 competent computer science IT certified trainer in one place. Communitywide have that. We want to give that gift to you. You have to meet us halfway place. Together, we can make this happen. The fault is not in our stars, it's in our failing to dream. But our dreams will be just one night of pleasure if we do not work to make it a reality. Please join us as we create a new generation, a new hope, and a new pathway. Together, we can be the light for those coming behind us so that they can avoid the pitfall that we have traveled. They can avoid the problems that we face. Success is waiting. Thank you.